We're now streaming live, it says. Let's see what that means. I have all these gadgets that I have to control. Great. All right. I think we're live now, so that's very good. It's happened. I get better and better at it every time. Great.
Yeah,
okay. I get better at my gadgets. Yeah,
the rule is to start first.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're fine. But we'll just wait for people to join us.
Okay.
So that, yeah, so that it's fine. To join us. Still have some 4 minutes, so yeah. But we're live. I think that's very important. We're live on Facebook. We're live on.
Is it the same name on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Noruwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. On Facebook, it's Noruwa Edokpolo, and also on YouTube. Don't mind me. Maybe I'll come for some coaching so after this.
I think so.
Because I have this, I have the feeling that I have multiple names online, you know. So there's the Word in Season, there's Noruwa Edokpolo, now there's the Round Table. So even I feel sometimes which is which.
Which I've seen it.
You know, they've just evolved. All right, they've just evolved, you know, with time. So I kind of just let it evolve. But sometimes now I think maybe a good idea to see. All right, if you can hear me out there, please just say hello so I know you can hear me. Let's see. Anybody out there listening to us? Just be patient for them to join us. Okay. Hi, Gogene, how are you? Okay, so Gogene is my sister-in-law. Pastor Catch, always great to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Today is a first of sorts. Today is the first time I'm having two females. So I'm feeling a bit, you know, I have to gather myself together and be bold. And
placed amongst women.
yes, I am. You know, I have to put up a bold face, you know. And then today is our first edition under the new name. This used to be called the Pastors Roundtable, but starting from this edition, I just now call it the Roundtable with Noruwa Edokpolo.
Okay.
The reason for that is sometimes people say to me, "Oh, can we join? We're not pastors," you know. And so I thought, okay, you know what? Let me throw this open so that more people can join us. But we're still going to stay where we are, talking about the things of God, and you know, it's like approaching contemporary issues from a Christian angle or from a Christian bent, if you like. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. Great. This is really, really interesting. Right. I'm glad to see that it's up on the channels. Okay, it's 8 p.m. on the dot, and it's a good time to start. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to another insightful edition of the Roundtable with Noruwa Edokpolo. The Roundtable with Noruwa Edokpolo is where we have conversations on contemporary issues of the Christian faith. It's a place where we gather to engage in life-giving conversations that edify the body of Christ and bring glory to God. Now, did you notice that there was a name change? I hope you did. So we have gone from the Pastors Roundtable to the Roundtable with Noruwa Edokpolo, essentially to increase our reach so that the wider body of Christ can benefit from what we're doing, so that people don't think that they're eavesdropping on a pastor's conversation. Excuse me. So that's why I changed the name. But apart from that, our core focus remains the same: conversations that edify the body and glorify God. I'm your host, and my name is Noruwa Edokpolo. Tonight, our topic is social media, its myths, mysteries, and mastery. All right? Social media, this is our modern-day chameleon, morphing seamlessly, between, it's a leveler. Now people that ordinarily you probably will never be able to talk to, you can tweet at them. Trump might even answer my tweet right now because his phone is in his hand. All right, that's the power of social media. Social media is a power broker. All right. Social media, unfortunately, can be somebody's nemesis if not well handled. Social media can become a springboard to greatness. I remember the girl somewhere in Akwa Ibom or Calabar that went to salute the father after graduation, and the governor, Pastor Eno, saw it, and now she's a house owner, and on and on and on and on and on like that, So now, depending on how social media, how you are related with it, you are either rejoicing today or you are lamenting the day you were created. Somebody said social media is a digital mirror reflecting our best and our worst selves. All right. Whether you like it or not, social media has entrenched itself in our lives, shaping cultures, economies, relationships, etc. Social media has become a force we cannot ignore, particularly in Christendom. Sometimes we play the ostrich, we pretend, and et cetera, et cetera. And then by the time we come to the party is long gone. But I think we're doing things differently this time around. And I'm hoping that today's edition of the Roundtable will help us, as the body of Christ, to understand the social media a bit better and to see how we can use it for the kingdom, all right? How we can use social media to advance the work that we're doing at different spheres across the world, as believers, both for ministry, for life, for business, for career, etc., etc. And I have another first. Today I have an all-female, panelist, Esther Ifeoluwa Bafemi and Eloho Imuya. Did I get it right? I will.
Efemwai.
Efemwai, yes. By the time I do it once or twice, it will stick. So let me just, again, do what I normally don't do. I'm going to read their profiles because I'm very proud of both women that are coming on board with us today. They are, wonderful people in their space. Esther Bafemi is an accomplished business leader with over 17 years of experience. Currently, she's at the forefront of leading enterprise-wide digital transformation across sub-Saharan Africa for a multinational company with strategic and overseeing responsibilities for digital media, insights, and consumer care. She has received numerous awards and recognitions, including being named one of the top 5 women in digital transformation in Africa. She is dedicated to her skills to foster a culture of continuous improvement and drive organizational change. Ifeoluwa is also passionate about supporting early to mid-career professionals and business owners, and she's founder of the Business and Leadership Series. She's an advocate for women's and children's health and education, and has authored 3 books. And I also dare say that we worship together in the same church. So yes, in addition to all of that, she's a believer and a wonderful one at that. Eloho is a personal brand strategist and a marketing expert who empowers ambitious Black Christian women in business to define and achieve their ultimate potential. She's a singer, songwriter, best-selling author, coach, and award-winning broadcaster. As the first Black female to run a Christian radio station in Scotland, Eloho has built a solid foundation of expertise and experience, allowing her to guide women towards a successful and iconic online presence. She helps break down the limiting beliefs and stereotypes that hold women back, teaching them how to strategically use social media, build their own influential personal brand, and create maximum impact, influence, and revenue on their terms. What sets Eloho apart as a personal brand strategist is not technical knowledge alone, but rather her own journey to this field. A few years ago, Eloho was a shy, really timid woman, lacking confidence and battling imposter syndrome. The stereotypes that many other Black women face hindered her from reaching her full potential. It was this personal struggle that led her to become a personal brand strategist. Her mission is to empower Black Christian women in business, especially creative women, with the tools to beat the stereotypes, emerge as thought leaders, and impact change. Wow. I am blessed amongst powerful women, not just women. And I always like to add at this junction that the views expressed on this program are those of the speakers, and we do not speak or represent any other entity. We speak for ourselves. So just in case you know any of us in other spheres, all right, let it be known to you that we are here representing ourselves, okay? I think it's a good thing to put a disclaimer up front, okay? Right, so ladies, thank you so much for agreeing to spend this time with us. I'd like to start by asking my first question. I said, what do you consider to be the defining moment or milestone in the history of social media? And how has it shaped the landscape that we see today? What do you consider to be the defining moment or milestone in the history of social media? And how has it shaped the landscape that we see today? Anybody can start. Hello, or maybe you go first.
I think Ifeoluwa should go first. Since she's here, Ifeoluwa, you go first.
Okay, so I'll just make it short. From what I know, I think strongly that it is the increasing adoption of mobile. And for different countries, it's at different times. For Nigeria, the back in history would say it's during the, I don't want to mention the name of president if it's allowed. I'm trying to remember what year now. Some early 2000s, right? That's when, people, we have the telecoms company and all of that coming to the country. And of course, the spread across Africa. So that for me is a defining moment, because then everyone now, you don't have to go to cyber cafes anymore to spend hours queuing and buying tickets, really expensive. So accessibility to the internet made social media grow exponentially. So that's, for me, is the adoption of mobile, and it's been growing year on year at an increasing rate. For Nigerian, the last I checked, we were at now adoption of mobile, so that is like 97%. But the internet-enabled mobile phone is lower, because now people have mobile phone anyway, whether it is internet-enabled or otherwise. So that's that, and it is different statistics for different countries in Africa. We can Google up and put suite, we are social for Africa. They share a report every year speaking to the social media trend and growth across different countries, adoption of mobile, and all the information that you would require. Yeah, then I would like to just get my co-speaker to this point.
I agree with that. Mobile really, really made such a huge difference. Yeah. But what I would just like to add, there have been so many challenges that have come out. I don't know if it was the Obama one, when he was running his campaign. I think that
Mhm.
was a defining moment for social media. Um, this one might be quite recent, but it was the ice bucket challenge. I don't know if you remember that one, So those kinds of challenges have been such huge, defining moments for social media. I know in Nigeria there have been other challenges or things that have happened that just highlighted, oh wow, okay, we can do this with social media or this can happen. So for me, those are two, the Obama campaign and then
Mhm.
I think it was the ice bucket challenge. That thing just went viral. It just went crazy. And so I just wanted to add to what you have said. Mobile,
Mhm.
huge, but just those challenges such as those, yeah.
Mhm. Prior to social media, it used to be how many people are watching the show, on television, how many people are watching, et cetera, et cetera. So now the question becomes sometimes how many people are, trending
Yeah.
on a topic or whatever it is, and it's amazing the kind of things that trend.
Is that, can you still hear him or?
No, I can't. There's a freeze.
Okay, can you hear me?
You're
I hear,
back now.
yeah, we can hear you
Okay,
now.
all right. Anyway, but maybe I should back up a little and say, what exactly is social media? It says in today's context, uh, how did it start? Where are we? What is social media?
Hmm. I mean, social media is a I don't want to give the stereotype answer. Social media is a communication platform and all of that. But for me personally, as I have used social media over the years, is a tool, yes, for building, for
Mhm.
it's a tool for building, it's a tool for growing, it's a tool for communication, it's a tool for just enhancing whatever it is you do, either that be business, ministry, whatever that you are involved in. So I want to come from that angle and see social media as a tool. It's a tool for so many things if used appropriately. It can also be a tool for destruction as well, as we have seen
Mhm.
in recent
Mhm.
times. So for me, it's a tool for communication. It's a tool for building and rebuilding. It's a tool for
Mhm.
establishing, and like I teach my clients, establishing your authority in your space. It's also a tool for building the know, like, and trust factor. I mean, back in the day, it would take you forever for people to know you, except you have so much money to go on TV or radio, to advertise what you do. But now on social media, you can build the know, like, and trust factor where people know you specifically for where you operate, and then they like you, and that's why we have all them celebrities. Everybody follows celebrities. Everyone is a celebrity now, a content creator, and you can build a loyal audience, you can build a following, you can build ambassadorship. So it's a tool for building that know, like, and trust factor, such that
Mhm.
when an opportunity comes up with, maybe there's an opportunity for someone like you, Pastor, and you, Pastor, too. I'll call you Pastor as well. And as a result of you using social media to build that know, like, and trust factor, people like, oh, I know someone exactly who can do it, But back in the day, I mean, obviously PR and all of that still exist. But back in the day,
Mhm.
it take a lot of time for people to know who really is the man for the job. But social media has enhance that. So that's why I say social media is a tool for communication, a tool for building, rebuilding, enhancing, establishing, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do agree that the social media allows everyone's voice to be heard. It's unlike in the days, back in the days, like you highlighted, it's TV and they're just talking to you. You can't respond. There's no reaction. They can't even tell whether you are currently enjoying their program. It's unlike how like you're running a live program on any of the social media platform, you get, immediate reaction. So it's a two-way communication platform. And if we look at how it all started, the intention, and especially we pick the biggest platform, which is Facebook. If you look at what the founders thought when he created Facebook, it was to create like a social community for people to reach out to their friends, to families, and drive engagement. And over time, it evolved, yes, into what you have described, a platform where people then drive visibility, and it's where they also establish their presence, and their crafts also gain some mileage in all its form. Like I know there are like four different people on social media. See people who we call the bonders. So bonding just means they are there, engaging other people's content. And we have people who are creators, and you would also see that Meta platform have also put people into that segment. People who are creators, who create content, digital content. We have people who are sharers. If you go to some people's profile on social media, it is only shared content. And everybody has a role. Everybody has a role to play. And then there are people who are professional. And, I think that's what you've described. People who are using it for a professional purpose. So to establish their craft and drive mileage for their business or their personal brand. So that'll be the add on to the explicit description you put forward.
Like it.
Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, this is the round table with Noruwa Edokpolo. This is where we have conversations on contemporary issues of the Christian faith. We like to say that we engage in life-giving conversations that edify the body and glorify the Lord. And today we're looking at social media, its myths, mysteries, and mastery. And we have two wonderful women with us. We have Ifeoluwa and we have Eloho. We're having a great time if you're just joining us. And thank you. I have a lot of folks who listen to this program. Somebody said to me the other day that I joined your program or I use a different number. He doesn't know that unless he says something, I won't know he's following me. Excuse me. Please let us know you are there. It makes all the effort that we put into this worth our while. So thank you so much, those who have said hello. Gogene, Kachala, Femi Peters, Ifedayo, Benga, Yenuga, thank you so much. If you are listening in, please say hello. All right. So we straight off, there's fear of social media, cyberbullying, misinformation, and the almighty AI has come. So do we run away from it? What do we do? Hello.
Okay, I was actually at an event today where we're talking about embracing emerging technologies such as AI. And I happened to facilitate this particular session. And one of the big things that came out of it was that AI is here to stay. This technology is here to stay. And really, really, AI is not going to take anybody's job. It's the person who knows how to use AI that's going to take your job. So I believe that AI is here and we can use it to our own advantage. There's a lot happening. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed a cyber security guy who had cloned a CEO's voice for research purpose. He had cloned a CEO's voice and then used that voice to ask for monies to be transferred, exactly. So, he did that experiment to teach people how to identify deep fakes. So what I'll say is we need to educate ourselves properly on AI. AI is not a demon. It's not the demon. It's here to enhance our job. It's here to make our job easier if we know how to use it properly. When the rave about AI came on, I personally thought it was just ChatGPT, but only to discover down the line there's an AI for almost everything that helps your job, whatever it is that you do, and makes life easier. One of the things I first started using was there's an AI who takes your minutes, when you're having Zoom meetings, autopilot. So I'll tell you something strange that happened. I kept seeing Otta wants to join your meeting, and I get really offended. I'm like, who is Otta? Why is Otta trying to join? Is it a scam? And this like that. Honestly, I was like, no, I don't want. So I kept ignoring, until one day I was like, what are you even scared of? Try it. Just allow it. Guess what? After the meeting, maybe an hour or so, or a day or so later, I got a summary of my meeting. I'm like, wow. So everything my clients was saying, I could now take it, extract it, and be able to, properly give her a solution or something. So AI is here to stay. It's not going to take your job. It's not going to even take, I know some people, especially within Christianity, some people use it for their messages now. God help us. Yeah. But truth be told, we just need to educate ourselves about emerging technologies, not just AI, there's blockchain, there's every other thing, just properly educate ourselves and be very, very careful when you're using, just like what that cybersecurity guy did, you fall victim to things like that. So it's knowing exactly what AI is and then just being very careful. But truth be told, it's here to stay. We just need to learn how to use it to help ourselves.
Okay. All right. For those who are Christians, what are some ethical dilemmas or challenges that we might encounter on social media as believers? What are those things, what are some of those ethical dilemmas or challenges that you think Christians should be aware of, things they need to be conscious of, so that as we engage with social media, let's have these things in mind? Yeah.
Okay. So what comes to mind first is virality. So, in Christendom, certain conservative Christians think once you have your face out there on social media, you have now engaged with the world. I would take that as one of the big mysteries of social media. And I think most of the misconception come from people of a certain generation. I don't want to just limit it to Christendom, and which those generation also are in Christendom. So while some people's content may explode overnight and gather quite a lot of views, likes, and share, it is not seen. So it is not seen, and that also we should see that as a platform for us to push our message, the gospel of Christ, whether in all of our endeavor. Like something I like to say is that I am not a Christian I am not a digital expert, transformation expert in the marketplace. I am first a child of God that is assigned, that I have that mission. That is my ministry. And through it, I can let the light of Christ show and be spread across. So speaking to, I think that's one of the mysteries. And one thing also, like I tell people, is the kind of content you engage with determines what comes to your feed. So if you, at any point in time, you are getting into some secret scene, sort of like you're watching something, the algorithm will naturally present such to you. And we've had this conversation in the Sunday school before. Social media, people should limit their use of social media because there are a lot of terrible content there. I said, if you pick up my just click on Facebook or Instagram, you'll be surprised the kind of things you say. You would see edifying messages, because those are the people I follow. Those are the people I stay on their content. So because the enemies want you to stay. So you are training the system to understand your preference, and that is how it works. So it is not evil, as it is about us, the things we are engaging with.
I have a confession to make on this. So I looked up something on snakes. I just saw the snakes then. And ever since then, every time I open my it is, snakes from India, from this place, from that place, a snake fighting another snake, a mongoose trying to kill a snake. And I'm like,
because they thought you're interested.
Why am I so? I'm now trying to, how do I get this interested so they can leave me alone?
So,
I don't know.
Like Facebook now has an option where you can say, where you click on the ellipsis, like a dot somewhere on the right-hand corner. You can say you want to limit seeing this.
Okay.
Sometimes you would even prompt and say, do you want to see more of this or less of this? And
okay, I think I will do that because there are too many snakes on my reels. All right. So how can an individual strike a balance between reaping the benefits of social media while at the same time upholding, our ethical values, the things that make us who we are, particularly as Christians? I'm keen on the Christian dimension to this conversation. All right. So how can we strike that balance? I want to use social media both for ministry, for business, etc., etc. But at the same time, I also want to be mindful of the minefields. All right. So how do I balance out?
All right, that's such a good question. And what Ifelua said about I'm first a Christian, and the Bible even talks about us being a light. That there's I think it's in Matthew, it's from the Message translation, it's my favorite verse, that you are here to be light. Let me tell you, and it says, let me tell you and remind you why you're here. You are here to be light. So our agenda, first of all, as a Christian, as Christians, is to be the light of God in the dark world. And I always say this, the witches, every other person, they are not afraid to share their agenda on social media. People will come out boldly and tell you that they are so and so and so. They will even send you readings. They're not ashamed about it. But when it comes to us as Christians, we always think, oh, you know what, there needs to be a balance so that, and all that. No, I don't agree with that. And that's why on my page, even though at a point when I was trying to transition and evolve from a singer, a worship leader to a businesswoman, I was struggling and I thought that I had to hide my faith. But that was me losing out a huge essence of who I am. So I had to go back. I worked with a coach, and funny enough, this coach is not even a Christian, who said to me, what you're doing is taking out yourself, your essence. So speak your truth, be your authentic self, and the right people will find you. I'm not saying go there and you know how we can be sometimes as Christians, but I would say be your authentic self. You don't need to hide who you are. There are Christians who are in the marketplace and they are owning it. They're not going there preaching at people, but their lifestyle reveals. I have a friend, she's an entrepreneur here in Scotland, and we had an event. I ran an event 2 Saturdays ago, and we're talking about rising in the marketplace. And she says, she's been invited by Scottish government, in fact, she's just been made a residence entrepreneur in Glasgow City, but everybody knows she's a Christian. She's not preaching at people, she's not going shouting, I'm a Christian, but her lifestyle, and she does not fail to acknowledge God in anywhere she is talking, be it a Christian setting, an unbelieving setting. So I'll say striking a balance is remember who you are and whose you are. Remember the assignment you have been called to. And social media is there for us to inspire people with. So I do a mix of, even on LinkedIn, I do that now. The other day I took a scripture and I said, oh, every time I read the scripture, there's something in me just jumps up. And I put that on LinkedIn. It's supposed to be a professional platform, but I put that because this is who I am. I can't hide it. So strike a balance, be your authentic self. Don't go there trying to be who you are not, because you will get lost. And we need more Christian voices, especially in the marketplace today, speaking up, not being woo-woo and all, oh, okay, yeah, but just so I would say be your authentic self. Use the platform to inspire people, to bring people, to reconcile people back. If those guys are not afraid to do it or ashamed to do it, why should I be ashamed to do it? Why should I be afraid to do it? So I use my social media to coach people. I will put all the coaching stuff, but when I want to share my story, faith, I will share it as well. And it comes naturally because this is who I am. I'm here to be light. I'm here to bring out all of the God flavors, according to Matthew 5:14 from the Message translation. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Yes. I would like to add just two things. Which just to corroborate what you have said. You get into certain comment section of some posts and you see believers, when you kind of see what they put there as comment, as response to issues, you would, most times I cringe. As believers, yes, we want to put our views there. Well, it is our thoughts. But this platform, some people would pick that comment and run with it because you in some way become a brand, for some people. So whether it's a response to trivial issues or controversial concerns, we should be careful how we respond. Because it's big. The social media platform is big. And besides, it's not just the Meta platform, Facebook and Instagram. Even our WhatsApp is a social media platform. And it is the top ranking one at the moment, followed by Facebook. WhatsApp has a very large user base, and also the frequency of usage is even higher than any platform, social media platform currently. But what are people doing with it? Whether in our different groups, there's also WhatsApp for business now, which Christians, whether you're in business, whether it's for your personal brand, you can also leverage that platform. So just to corroborate what you're saying, let's always remember our identity. We shouldn't lose that everywhere we have. And it starts first from how well we have also built ourselves. So it's the word of God. It's out of the abundance of your heart. That's your fingers type. So if I kind of switch it, not the mouth speaking, you're now typing. And some people even join live videos and then also share their views. So that's just the point that I thought to add.
Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, this is the round table with Noruwa Edokpolo. It's a place where we have conversations on contemporary issues in the Christian faith, where we have life-giving conversations that edify the body and glorify the Lord. We've been having wonderful conversations this evening. Our topic has been social media, its myths, mysteries, and mastery. And if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to my channel. Share this link right now. Just look for the share button and share this link on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook, etc., so that more people can join us. And thank you so much, everyone who has joined us. I can see all your hellos and highs. Thank you. If you have questions, this is a great time to ask your questions. If you have any questions, Nice to be here. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. Right. So now let's get a bit into the practical aspect of it. Okay. How do I determine which of these social media channels is best suited for me? I mean, what does a person look out for? So sometimes you're like, I can't cope, I want to post on LinkedIn and post on Instagram and Thread and X and da 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 da. All right. How, is there counsel? How do you advise? So if somebody is listening to us now, either for ministry, either for business, either for whatever, how do we decide which of the platforms is best suited for us? Any tips?
Okay. So I mean, this is one of the things that I actually teach my clients and people I've worked with. The first thing first, what is your goal? You have to go back to your goal. You have to be clear, and I call it like radical clarity. You have to get radically clear on what your goals are, who your message is for, what is the solution that you provide, why should they trust you, and all of that. Once you have clarified that, you then begin to, okay, say for instance, you want to, your ministry, your business, or whatever it is for Gen Zs. You then ask, where are they hanging out? Yeah. If it's for kind of the older generation, you ask, where are they working? Where are they hanging out? It's for professionals. So based on your goals, you decide what platform to focus on. It doesn't mean you can't have a profile across all platforms. You can be on everyone if you so want to. But I will say, go back to your goals, define clearly what you even want to achieve. Is it just to create visibility for you, your brand, or your business or ministry? Is it to generate leads? Is it to actually create a business? Get radically clear. And then from there, you find out, oh, where are these kind of people hanging out? And then stay on those platforms. And I tell my clients, at least 2 platforms, because you don't want your efforts scattered all over the place. If you decide to, it's a lot of work managing social media. I remember when I first started, I was managing people's social media. Sometimes I had like 10 clients at a time. I was going crazy, So how many can you manage? Really? So what I say is focus on 2 major platforms where your ideal audience is hanging out based on your goals, what you want to do, how you want to help them, what is the solution that you provide. And then you focus on these major 2, and then you can give your time. And like I tell my clients, well, I want to be consistent on social media. Consistent is not necessarily showing up every single day, but it is showing up when you say you will show up. So if you say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll be online, that is consistency. You don't have to be there every single day, story, reel, this, that. I don't do trends. I do not do trends at all. I don't like it. So just go back to your why, go back to your goals, clarify, and then based on that, find out the people who you want to reach. Yes, as Christians, we're not sent to the whole world. You're sent to particular people. So you need to discover who exactly and where they're hanging out, and stay there and build your brand there, build your voice there, your credibility on. That's what I want to say. If I look out to you.
Yes. And I mean, I really appreciate those thoughts, and they're quite valid. In addition to the part where you said you need to identify who their audience, the audience is, and where they are. I would also say it's important to know what their behavior is like, what their pain point is. That would then inform what kind of content resonates with them. Otherwise, you don't want to be talking into the, if your audience are people in middle age and you are sounding like Gen Z, that you won't be hitting the mark in that regard. And there's something also about the algorithm. I think I have to really, really stress this. The algorithm favors people who show up. Interestingly, who show up consistently, and that's to buttress your point. And interestingly, maybe not most people know this. It wants you to post every day. The algorithm would rank you better if you're some. It even advises that do 3 to 4 posts a day. That is how it is. But you have to know yourself. You have to then plan adequately to suit your strength, your audience. And that is where the point where you mentioned showing up where you said you would when you are set. Because the algorithm also recognize if you say you're showing up on Monday, you want, and then at particular time. Now it's easy. AI and stuff, everything comes with its own benefit. You can schedule your posts. You can just decide on a Saturday, set outside 2 hours and make available your post, design your flyer. And speaking about flyer, people also need to learn out certain bit of tips, whether you are in ministry, to design a small flyer. That's what would sell your brand. Make short videos. There are apps that you can use to just create short videos, interesting videos. It could be text that would move at a particular timing. People also like when they have short video content, even if it is GIF. People want things that keep them thumb-stopping content, and so that's I can go on and on how the platform, on giving practical advice. Building a community is also key. You can also the platform introduces features. And when it introduces a new feature, so if there's anything anyone shouldn't forget, if the platform introduces a new feature, try to use it, because naturally they put effort behind that new feature. Like when Reels was just introduced. So people who got on Reels, you see them getting on reasonable amount of views and engagement, because the platform naturally would favor those new features that they've just introduced. And so these are some of the bit of it. I can go on and on, but I would let me stop at this point.
I wanted to add something about Pastor Noruwa, when you were talking about building a community, right? One thing that I've said to people to always do is, don't ghost post. So some people feel like, okay, it's okay. I'll just schedule my post Monday to Saturday or Monday to Sunday. I'm posting. But if you are not there engaging with your community, the algorithm would not even favor you. And I've realized, especially on LinkedIn, I mean, it happens across all platforms. As soon as you put out a content, maybe 4 or 5 people comment on it, and then you start responding, the algorithm just keeps pushing it up.
Yes, it keeps recommending it to more people, saying this looks interesting. I think things that got quick reaction from people. Yeah.
So it's important that when you post a piece of content, be there. Sometimes you can even be there an hour before you post and an hour after you post. What are you doing then? You're engaging with other people. You are responding to their own comments, and genuine comments, please, not emojis. Don't be leaving emojis on people's, at least add to the conversation so that you build your own expertise there. And like you were talking about flyers, please, excellence. For us as Christians, we need to do things with excellence. You go to some ministry platforms and churches platforms, you're like, what is this? What is this? So if you're going to be the light, be the light. If you don't have people within your community or circle that can help you produce those excellent graphics, find somebody that can do it. Platforms like Instagram is visual intensive. So visuals have to be on point. It's not like Facebook or LinkedIn that you can get away with just text or X now. So wanted to add that when you were talking.
And
thank you.
Just a moment, sir. To succeed on any social media platform and building on the content part you just said now, it is 70% content. If you get it right,
Yeah.
your results goes faster. So first spend some time to, the ideation, to, first, strategy, then ideas, then build your content. How do you want to tell your story? It's what will give you 70% of your return on investment. That's investment of time. And people should also plan to spend on the platform. Yes, there is organic growth, but then you can try to put in some stipends. And you can also, when you post, when you do all of that, you can put those links, you can share it to people in your close, maybe WhatsApp group. Encourage people to engage. Encourage them to also share with you that you would engage their post. You can do all those seemingly, those organic those organic action, and then you can put some funds behind post promotion. That would also give some mileage. And that also speaks to churches and whether you're also small businesses. You can put the setting in Naira so that you don't have to deal with the foreign exchange concern. Yes, that's it.
Thank you. I think I can just drop this for my colleagues, pastors like me. Today, you have your prayer group, you have your choir, you have your etc., etc. Please note, you also need to now have your social media team. All right. Any church that is serious on using social media for ministry, just the same way you have a department for the choir department, ushering department, prayer department, you now must have a social media department, and you will try to staff it with people who understand what they're talking about. All right. So I thought I should just say that for people who are in ministry. Another thing I'm hearing, and it's coming out clearly, is that social media is not a joke. It's a big deal. It can make you or mar you, as they say. And so it's something that you're listening to us today, and maybe you just looked at it as something that you just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. But what you're hearing this evening is that it is a big deal, and it requires attention. All right, it requires planning. It requires attention if you intend to make something tangible with it, whether it's business, whether it's ministry, or whatever, unless you just want to, for the fun of it, which is okay. But if it's beyond just having fun and you want to do something serious with it, then you really want to take it, seriously and plan it. All right. Thank you very much, ladies. So if you have any questions, please go ahead. I would just echo, your question. I've seen quite a number of people here today. Thank you so much for joining. I don't want to call names. I don't skip anybody's name. If you have any questions for our panelists, go ahead and type it. I can see questions from Facebook. I can see questions from YouTube, and I would be delighted to, feed your questions to our panelists. Now, we hear about influencers. Who is an influencer? How do you become an influencer? All right, so here I am. I want to become an influencer. What does that mean? What do I need to do? All right. Yes, ladies.
I think there are different categories to being an influencer, and in the PR industry, given my role and responsibility in my current organization, I also have some conversation and relationship with them. So let's say a business wants to run a campaign now, and you need an influencer. So we speak about the macro. We talk about there is people who are medium, and then there is micro. And it's most times based on the following. But one thing also is we know people also buy that. They buy followers. So there are lots of things that people can do with money. But what over time, there are tools that we now use to identify people who have real following and who are the real influencers. So I can't remember the numbers again from the top of my head, but a certain thousands of followers. There's a range for the people who are micro, and then there's a medium range, and then the millions. So that like the macro big time influencers, and then there's a level higher one, which we call celebrity. So now there's a celebrity influencers. Like if you want something to go viral on Twitter, for example, if you get those micro influencers to just tweet and retweet, before you know it, you'll be ranking #1 on. So there are different uses for influencers, and it's majorly based on their following. But for people who don't know the craft of the industry, they will just base it on what you can see at the back end. But it goes beyond that. There are tools now to identify, because people, what the followers are just bots. They are just bot, like they are not real. They are not real following. If you pick one of their followers and click on it, you would not share, not one single post has been shared. It's just one. Like what we also see these days, one individual can have up to 10 accounts, and they use it to do all the cyberbullying that you know. They won't use their real identity. So all of those things are some of the seeming complexity of social media. But I don't want to sell the ills because it has far more benefits than if you just know how to navigate the platform. And it's not difficult. It is not for the young generation. So it's something we should also take out of our minds. It's not just for the younger generation. Everyone can use the social media platform. And you can also become an influencer. The influence now is now the case that I've described, but in your own sphere of influence, with your target audience, you can build your own voice and your credibility over time. Just be authentic. You don't need to fake it. It's who you are, your own. You would attract people who your brand, who your style of talking or your style of content appeals to. If we can only set our minds to plan and make that happen. I'll let Eleho add to that. Since she's the branding ambassador, visibility person.
I think you have just said, you have answered it very, very, very well. And when you were talking about bots, I'm like, yeah, I know. I remember the few clients I worked with who wanted, obviously people just wanted their numbers, and they didn't mind buying. But others, I'm telling them, I was like, why are you buying? Why are you buying followers? It doesn't convert to anything. But everybody has influence. That's what I would say. We all have influence. And like you talked about, in your sphere, in your niche, you can be an influencer. What I think most brands are looking for is someone who can say, hey, I tried on this necklace. It is fantastic. And if you want it, here's my code, buy it, Even if you have, I think there are nano influencers now that is from 1,000 followers to about 10,000, So people like that can have influence when whatever they say, people respond, people take action, So I would say, if you want to go the influencing route, maybe get training. Do you understand? Get some training. Define, in fact, who you want to work with, because there was a time, I don't know if they still do it on Instagram, you will get all sorts of inboxes. I don't know if I would love you, wants you to be an ambassador. I'm like, seriously, why? But why would I want to be wearing your outfit? Did you not see my profile? Do you understand? So get training around that. Your values are also very, very important as an influencer. You just don't want to work with any and everybody because of the money. Does it align with your values as a Christian? I mean, there are Christian brands who are looking for influencers, but just be your authentic self. Know exactly what you want to get from the partnership, and influence people to come to church or listen to my radio station.
Thank you so much. Somebody's asking a question. Says, what can government and other institutions do about the negative effect of social media in gathering people for crisis, like the EndSARS? Well, I can tell you what they do in other countries. They shut down the internet.
Well, do you understand? I mean, and we have seen even like something like the Black Lives Matter, that's revolutionized a whole, things changed after that.
In SARS in Nigeria.
And so,
Yes.
yeah, obviously, it is controlled. It's a good thing, but it's that control now. How do they control it without it exploding, in our face and just causing all sorts of things? I don't know if there's much they can do. I don't know if what can they do?
So just what came like a flash to my mind is during COVID too. You see people sharing false information, and people pick it up and act, and same also for some of this revolution or some protest. You see, they can tell you that they've killed, like a number of people had been, and meanwhile, it is less than that number. First, the government, what they can just keep doing is to sensitize people on the ills of, sharing false news. So if that is in people's mind, I mean, you may not win all, but you will dissuade some who may want to join or start such. So it starts first from, because it can be small skits and radio jingle of short dramas on what a single false news can cause, can, dissuade people from using the social media for such social campaign or social protest, as it were.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're beginning to wind down now. It's been a wonderful time, this conversation. Of course, you know that social media is not something we can start and finish in 60 minutes, but I hope that we have gotten you thinking, all right, about the possibilities. It's here with us. It's not going to run away. I like to give the example. I remember growing up those days, particularly this picture, I don't know why it has stayed with me. Those days in Obalende, you see them say that people used to post about how many words per minute they can type. And that was a big deal. It was a skill that I used to see the signposts, they'd say, come and learn how to type 60 words per minute, blah, blah, blah. It was a big deal once upon a time. But I mean, who is going to come up now and say, I'm looking for a job? And they say, what are your skill sets? And the person will say, oh, I can type, 60 words per minute. That era has gone, okay? In the same way also, the era that we knew prior to social media has gone. So the sooner we learn how to tame this horse and ride it for the glory of God, the better for us. And so my counsel is that we just need to understand it, okay? Please go for training. And so ladies, final word from both of you. Ella, please tell us about, your services, what you offer, let people get to know if they want. Just remember to give me my 10% when the deal is struck. So go ahead and then if your final words and tell us, about your business. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pastor Nora, for this opportunity. And Ifeoluwa, it's great to meet you. I'm going to look for you. I'll follow you on social media now. But just really, really want to say we need to embrace the emerging technologies as they come. Use social media wisely and intentionally. Don't just be a consumer, be a creator as well. And be your authentic self on social media. And please, excellence, go for excellence. There was one time that people used to come on my page then just to like, oh, what is she putting out today? Because I was so intentional about my graphics and how I wanted people to feel when they come to my page on social media. We're doing some little exercise at the moment, but my name is Eloho FMY across all platforms, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do TikTok like once a week or twice a week or something. I help women particularly. Doesn't mean I don't work with men, but I help women particularly to build their personal brands on social media so that they can attract the opportunities that they want for themselves. I'm big on amplifying the voices of creative women, specifically Christian women, because we have been told from time to just shush. And I think that's affecting us a lot. So what I help women do is let's craft an iconic brand that people will respect and want to work with you in any sphere at all. I personally used to manage social media for churches, for musicians, pastors, and all of that. But what I do now is I work with a team to manage social media. So that's what those are the two things I do. I help people start their own podcasts. I help people create their events, especially Christians, be that an online event. If you want to create a summit, for instance, I can help you, take you through the process. And if it's an in-person one, or you want to start a podcast, I help you with that. I run a radio show. I run a radio show Mondays to Thursdays, 7 a.m. from 7 a.m. now, inspiring people to start their day right. But the good thing about the radio show is that it amplifies the voices of the unseen and the unheard. So maybe you have a book, you have a story to tell, you have a message, and you're looking for a platform. That is a platform for you to come on and share your message with the world. So these are some of the things I do.
It's not easy to be on the same platform with a really multifaceted woman. And I'm like, wow. It's really a big pleasure meeting you. And of course, I would follow back and we can keep in touch. It's good to have you here. As a wrap-up note, I would like to just say to everybody, the social media platform is beyond you just posting personal updates and photos. Yes, they're good for that, but the platform capability extend far beyond that use. So ministries, businesses, organizations, and professionals can use social media for marketing, networking, customer service, building thought leadership, and more. And I am Ifeoluwa Esther Bafemi. I lead, coach, and I mentor. I have strong passion for developing early to mid-career professionals, giving them valuable advice to ensure that some of the pitfalls that some of us got into, they don't get into same. They can gain speed and clarity about their calling. What I've just recently added is to support some small businesses to know certain the tools that they require to give their business visibility on social media platform and digital platform. You want to know the tools to develop a flyer and how to do it neatly, short videos, and how to also create content. You can use AI to your advantage while you then personalize what AI has generated and you gain speed. So these are some of the things that I do aside my 9-to-5 obligation. So it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir, for having me. And the day you told me, I was like, oh, really me? Because it's always bringing the big giants, you know. So I'm like, oh, this me. And see, today I have a really giant, multifaceted woman here. So I think it's a huge, I consider it a huge privilege to be part of this roundtable. I'm going to lock this down in my history. It's going to my personal journal. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, next month we have a very intriguing topic. We call it Signs and Wonders in the Marketplace. I met a gentleman who is literally dripping with the Holy Ghost, literally, all right? And so he wants to come and talk to us as to how we can, the word of wisdom, the word of knowledge, and all the gifts of the Spirit, how you can actually, see them at work in your business, in your, so it's not just something that only pastors have access to when they are ministering, maybe at vigils, etc., etc. It's beyond that, all right? So by God's grace, next month, 19th of June, same time, let's keep it a date. We're going to be talking about how to manifest signs and wonders in the marketplace. All right. Ladies, thank you so much. Hello, thank you so much. You came highly recommended, and I've gotten more than I bargained for. Ifeoluwa, thank you so much. I'm sure that our listeners have had a great time today. Already I can see them saying so. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like this, and share this, with family and friends. And let's do this again next month by the grace of God. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure having you on the show tonight. God bless you. Bye, everybody, and good night.